What's up, Tube? Buddha here, and I achieved my 16th KoG with Magnet Warriors, which is really great for me because my second KoG ever was actually with Magnet Warriors. That's of course before XCs were available to us, but that was way back in September of 2019. So it's really nice to take a second look at this archetype. Now, I'm only going to speed through these cards in summary because, as I said earlier, this is an old archetype. So most of us already know how it works. But there are some points that I would like to cover before moving on into replays. As usual, there's a timeline available to you in the description if you want to skip to the action. Now, every Magnet Warrior has an effect that's activated when they are normal or special summoned. However, the Electromagnet Warriors have a unique ability which allows them to tag out into a level 4 Magnet Warrior on the opponent's turn. Unless you're running something out of left field, that Magnet Warrior is always going to be Delta, whose summoned effect can mill any Magnet Warrior. Now, this tag out effect is what gives Magnet Warriors the evasion or defense that it needs, especially going first against a deck like Dragunity. I want to place some importance on Gamma here because its ability puts a second body on the field. If that second body is another Electromagnet Warrior, then you have 2 tag outs in the following turn. This is really good going first against Dragunity, of course, for obvious reasons, knowing that once they get Ascalon onto the field, they'll have at least 3 banishes that they can do on your monsters. 2 of those banishes are going to be chained with tag out effects tagging into Delta. You'll probably lose one, but then you won't even take damage unless they've summoned something else onto the field. This also applies to Black Wings and their Raikiri. However, one deck in particular that I want to raise a red flag to is Cydra, given that if they have the God Hand going second, you know, they get their field spell onto the field. What is that? Fusion Gate. If they get that onto the field, then they can easily unleash 5 attacks over 2,000 points. And even if you have 3 Electromagnetic Warriors on the field, there's 2 of those attacks are still going to get through and OTKU. So that is something to watch out for. Cydra can tear this deck apart in the right circumstance. This is an earlier build that also had a synchro package. It's pretty good, especially when you get the right hand. But the reason I had to switch things around is because originally I thought it might have been Super Team Buddy Force that was breaking me, but that's actually, this is actually one of the most helpful cards in the deck, especially if you open up with any other Electromagnetic Warrior and Super Team Buddy Force in your hand in turn 1. That's probably going to get your engine started if you do some clever chaining there. However, I don't want to rule out this build because it is pretty sick, especially if you draw into your Wheel Eater later on in the game. If you draw it at the beginning, you draw Berserkion as well, yeah, you know, it kind of hurts, especially when you're in the upper levels of ranked. But if you can really pull off some combos, you know, you can go into an Xyz boss here, maybe this Silver Mountain here, to force whatever Backrow card they have, then use your Wheel Eater with another warrior that you have on the field. And mind you, with Magnetic Field and Super Team Buddy Force at your disposal, it's going to be easy to get several of these bodies onto the field. You know, you summon your Wheel Eater, you summon Bryonic, you know, maybe pop a card using Wheel Eater's effect, send someone to the hand, send a monster or whatever card to the hand using Bryonic's effect, and you still haven't even summoned Berserkion yet. I mean, again, the combos get really insane using Wheel Eater, but as I said earlier, it can be a little bit bricky. Let's say you're going or going second, and you draw into Gamma, Wheel Eater, Berserkion, and Buddy going second, and there's a face down card. The only play you really have is to play Gamma, right? And hope that you can use the Super Team Buddy with the tag out effect, you know, to kind of get things going there. But the moment you play Gamma, your opponent reveals Karma Cut. You're done. You're done. The only reason you wouldn't lose in turn 3 is if your opponent does not have a killing hand, which they usually do. When it comes to winning consistently, we have to respond to what's being used. We have to respond to the meta in some kind of way. And in the upper levels of ranked, virtually everyone has Karma Cut, which can ruin this deck. As I said earlier, I had to add some anti-Backrow. I was trying to, you know, KoG without it. The weakest link in this case was Psychic Wheel Eater. It's nice to have. It's really cool to pull off those Bryonic plays, and Zeta's just a beast. I think it's a really underrated card, Psy-Frame Lord Zeta. But Hey True Nade was just way more useful, especially when it came to winning consistently in ranked. You know, obviously we have to win a certain number of times in a row in order to advance and make it across the finish line. And when it comes to that, this build is what got me out of Legend Limbo. Buddy's pretty good. given that it can really turbo your engine here, especially when you start off with Gamma, then maybe play Delta in defense mode, milling Beta. In the opponent's turn in turn 2, you can use the Buddy here to bring that Beta onto the field, allowing you to search Alpha and giving you access to another tag out there. As always, the EX deck can always be tailored to your liking, but there is a couple of cards here that I want to go over. First off, this card has a unique ability, especially when going first against Cydra. You'd have to draw into Gamma and another level 3 magnet to make it work. But if you go into this turn 1, even if Cydra gets the God Hand, summons their Cyber Twin Dragon and their Rampage Dragon with 3 attacks, Cyber Twin can only attack this twice. You use this effect 2 times to survive the blows, and then Rampage Dragon at 2100 attack can get through this in defense mode. At the end of the turn, since you use this effect, you can destroy the Cyber Twin Dragon or anything else that you think you need to blow away before proceeding with your combo there. Now, outside of Magnetic Field, which goes great with Holy Guard, by the way, that's the only reason I'm using Holy Guard, is to spam Magnetic Field and use it more offensively. Thunder Spark Dragon is your only answer to Dark Cavalry, possibly Red Eyes Black Dragon, and then of course Lunalight Saber Dancer, which cannot be targeted at all. Red Eyes and Dark Cavalry can negate targeted effects and destroy the whatever card initiated the effect. And Lunalight Saber Dancer simply cannot be targeted at all. So Thunder Spark Dragon's great. If you can get 3 deltas onto the field, which isn't too difficult, it's a bit situational, but helpful when you can do it. Detach all 3 deltas from it and destroy every monster on your opponent's side of the field. It's also good if they have 3 monsters on the field, you don't want to deal with them individually. And you've already got your Berserkion in your hand, everything's in play. You just blow everything off the field, play your Berserkion, and throw 5,400 points of attack at them. Now, I hope you don't mind watching me win the rest of this video, because honestly, I didn't save any losses. And when I noticed that I hadn't saved any losses, my duel log had already been overwritten by wins. It's too bad, because I would have liked to shown you that Cydra OTK. I'm sure I was raging when it happened, but when I went back to save the replay, it wasn't there anymore. That, of course, was before I realized that this card is probably the Cydra answer on turn 1. But anyway, digressing. Enjoy the replays.
Duel! Duel.